Ladies and gentlemen, the valedictorian for the class of 2017, Margaret Rose McAuliffe. Maggie.
Good morning. To begin, I'd like to thank all the faculty, staff, administrators, teachers, and classmates of the Aquinas Institute for giving me the opportunity and the honor to speak before you today. It really is my pleasure and privilege. How often have you heard people say about high school graduation, "This is the first day of the rest of your life"? But have you ever taken time to think about the meaning of that statement? Wouldn't that also mean that every day is the first day of the rest of your life? Or what about, "These have been the best 4 years of our lives"? How can I be sure that the best 4 years of my life have already happened? But I guess if I had to pick so far, I'd say kindergarten through third grade, because that was back when we still had recess and snack time. Or when they say, "We've all worked so hard to get here." Moving on. Another is, what makes Aquinas perfect is perfect? No. What I'd rather share with you today is what makes Aquinas real. Despite whatever my 8th grade biology teacher, Mr. Manuzak, may say about back when we were a real school. Aquinas is real because it is diverse. Every person comes from a different family, a different background, a different culture, and sometimes even a different country. But what's amazing is that the room always quiets down for prayer, that the student body cheers at every pep rally, and that people genuinely support each other in times of crisis. No matter where we're from, we are here for each other. Aquinas is also real because, as we all know, it's not a utopia. Little divides exist between groups of people. For example, between regular people or students who take Regents level courses and smart people, those who take honors or AP, or between sports teams and other clubs and activities. These divides aren't anything serious. They exist simply because of humanity's tendency to fear what it doesn't understand. Nevertheless, class of 2017, I think there is something we can do to heal these little divides. I know. It's graduation day, and many of you are saying, "I can't wait to not have to see any of these people ever again." But I believe that it is never too late to make amends. It's never too late to make someone else's day a little brighter. When you walk out of this auditorium today, newly graduated, to take hundreds of photos with your family members and friends until your face hurts from smiling, I want you to take a moment to stop and congratulate each other. Congratulate that classmate who's annoyed you to no end these past 4 years, because they did it too. Especially if today may be the last time you'll ever see them again. Leave them with a happy memory of you to look back on in 5, 10, or 50 years. As with campsites, kitchens, and clothing borrowed from my sister, leave people better than the way you found them. Another thing that makes Aquinas real is that during these past 4 years, we've all experienced failure in one way or another. We've all had to struggle. We've all faced heartache, exhaustion, disappointment, and deep sadness. Even that kid who's always joking around, yes, he's faced failure too. Even that classmate who's always got a smile on her face, yes, she's faced failure too. We're all familiar with that sinking feeling in your gut when you let someone else or yourself down. I've tried escaping it my whole life. That's why I try so hard in school, in theater, in choir, in band, and in everything, to not have to feel that feeling of failure ever again. One example of a time that I failed to avoid failure was during my 9th grade year here at Aquinas. I was at a weekly band lesson, practicing music for our upcoming Christmas concert, and I was having a particularly difficult time with the piece Sleigh Ride. I tried to keep all of my director, Miss McTammany's, suggestions in mind as I tried the difficult section again and again, and each time I continued to fail. Finally, I just became so frustrated with myself that I broke down. I let that one little failure in Sleigh Ride become my entire focus, so I exploded at myself for being, in my mind, entirely inadequate. But Miss McTammany and Audrey Grout, who was also present at the time, helped me to put things back into perspective. They helped me see beyond that tiny little mistake to the grand scheme of my life, which in reality is absolutely wonderful. I have a loving family and amazing friends, and no matter how much I squeak when I play the clarinet, nothing will ever change that. Through experiences like these, during my past 4 years, I've learned that failure is part of being human, whether I like it or not. Being human means being vulnerable. It means having limits. I believe that there are 3 things you can do with limits. 1, you can obsess over them until you're so paranoid that you can't do anything else but worry. 2, you can pretend that they don't exist so that when they finally catch up with you, you are shocked by your failure. Or 3, you can see your limits, acknowledge them, and do your best. That 3rd way, that is what I wish for you, Aquinas class of 2017. I wish that when you go off to college, to the military, to the workforce, or to the rest of your life, when you are faced with your own personal sleigh rides, I hope that you will do your best. If you are sitting on this stage today, I have every confidence that you can do just that, starting today. Do your best. Thank you.